It's Advent, which means Christmas is around the corner. There are so many events and opportunities, so many good and great things to do, that they can start to feel like a burden instead of a blessing. To help us stay focused on the blessing and grow in appreciation, we've kicked off a brand new message series that will take us through the season of Advent. The series is all about cultivating a spirit of thanksgiving, an attitude of gratitude. Being ungrateful can be a trap that we can get stuck in, and it is incompatible with happiness. On the other hand, study after study shows there's no practice more effective at increasing your happiness and well-being than practicing gratitude. You probably already know this. Your own life experience validates it. When you are focused on the good things in life and are thankful for them, you feel better. You're probably healthier and certainly more productive. And relationships with family and friends are stronger and more successful. It's not about ignoring problems. It's not false optimism. The science of psychology, our own experience, and the scriptures tell us the benefits of gratitude. It is in our best interest to grow in gratitude. The question becomes, how? As we kicked off this series, we talked about 3 simple steps that are needed and necessary. And these steps are simple, but we said that they are not easy. We said that they take discipline and dedication, and they take focus and commitment. The first step is to recognize the gifts and blessings that we are given. Gratitude is a thankful appreciation for something we have been given. If we don't see it, we can't be grateful. Admittedly, it can be difficult, especially when we're going through rough times. The second step is to turn our attention from the gift towards the giver of the gift, which means that day after day we consciously choose to recognize God as the giver of our gifts and blessings. His gifts are personal because His love is personal. God gives us gifts that are unique to us so that we will be drawn into a relationship with Him. The more we turn to God when we recognize blessings, the more clearly we know His personal love for us. The third step into growing in gratitude is to simply practice gratitude. Last week, we looked at obstacles to growing in gratitude. 2 obstacles, we said, that get in the way of seeing our blessings are big problems and little problems. When we are facing the big problems in life, such as an unemployment, major health issues, great financial stress, or little problems that Jesus called the daily anxieties of life, we can lose an attitude of gratitude. Well, last week we noted faith is seeing the blessings behind the burdens. By seeing the blessings behind the burdens, we can remain grateful. You can thank God you have a job when your work becomes stressful. You can thank God that you have children even when they drive you crazy. You can thank God that you even have a car when you are stuck in traffic. You can also trust that God will use our problems, big and little, to change and transform our character. Well, today, we're going to look at recognizing a blessing in our lives that in our hearts we want to acknowledge but we often forget. Sometimes we need encouragement to acknowledge it. St. Paul reminds us of this very point in his letter to the Philippians at second reading. And it was written around the year 62 AD. At this point, he is in prison in Rome for the crime of preaching Christ and the gospel, because Christianity at that time was considered subversive both by the Roman and the Jewish authorities. Philippi was a prosperous city of the Roman Empire in what is now modern-day Greece. Paul had actually planted a church there some years earlier. And through the years, the Philippians supported his ministry and mission financially, and they supported him personally as well in other ways. They proved themselves to be good friends. At this point, and in a time of some suffering and persecution by his enemies, Paul is remembering his friends. He says, "Brothers and sisters, I thank my God in all my remembrance of you, always in prayer with joy, thankful for your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now." Philippians, this letter to the Philippians, is sometimes called a thank you note. Paul is grateful for those in the church of Philippi, and he lets them know it. He's thankful every time he thinks of them. Can you think of anyone like that in your life? People for whom you have the same reaction. They have been such a blessing in your life that every time you think of them, just the thought alone brings a smile, perhaps a chuckle, or even a tear. Consider who are the people who have been a blessing in a previous season of life. You had a teacher, a mentor, a coach, a boss who poured into you in the past, and you hold an abiding gratitude for them. I can think of in my own life a friar who was a great pastor and who had great pastoral skills. He was extremely funny, and he was very, very witty when he engaged you, who always made me laugh, taught me a lot about parish life. I thank God for ever meeting him and knowing him. And to this day, when I do think of him, I always, always have a smile on my face. And there are people who are blessings right now. You look forward to time together because they are such a source of encouragement, of positivity that always brightens your day or cheers your heart. Or maybe they are such a constant, so consistent in their blessings in our lives that we can take them for granted, treating their goodness to us as an entitlement or falling into ingratitude. And there is a special category for those people who walk with us through the difficult situations or challenging circumstances, and they are sources of stability and support, perhaps even an inspiration. Who are the people that are a blessing in your life? For Paul, it was the Philippians. He said in the reading today that he is thankful for their partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. He's grateful that the Philippians have worked alongside of him from the early period of his ministry to promote the gospel. They have been his co-workers in introducing more and more people to Jesus. You know, at the end of the day, life comes down to two things: relationships and work. As human beings, we were made to connect with other human beings. We need relationships. And at the same time, we have a drive and a desire to work to get things done. Maybe that desire runs deep in some than others, but it is there always for all of us. All of us want to grow, all of us want to build, all of us want to do something. In the best of our activities, both relationships and work are being pursued and fulfilled. In the best of our activities, we are bonding with other people and accomplishing something together that is positive and productive. Here, Paul thanks the Philippians for both. He is thankful for the relationship and thankful for the work they have accomplished together. Paul thanks God for the Philippians. And then, as an expression of thanksgiving, he prays for them. And it is my prayer that your love may abound more and more with knowledge and all discernment, so that you may approve what is excellent and pure and blameless for the day of Christ, filled with the fruits of righteousness, which comes through Jesus Christ to the glory and praise of God. In this prayer, he prays that their ability to love will grow and that they will continue to grow in knowledge and discernment. And it is my prayer that your love may abound more and more with knowledge and all discernment. Love simply means to be for someone else. And to be for someone else requires knowledge and discernment. We have to know what is good for them. We have to be discerning about what they will really need. If you are a parent or a good manager, you know that. You can't just treat everyone the same. You have to know the person and discern in various situations and circumstances what is best for them. Paul prays they will grow in love by discerning and knowing how to love. And finally, he prays that the Philippians will be filled with the fruit of righteousness. The fruit of righteousness are attributes of Christ. Things like patience and peace and kindness and joy and happiness and goodness, self-control, self-sacrifice. In this way, he prays for their character, that they will become more like Christ. So, for this week, we want to grow in gratitude using Paul as an example. Think of one person you need to thank because every time you think of them, you feel grateful for them. Or think of a person you know you take for granted, but when you step back and think about them, you realize that he or she is an incredible blessing to you personally. Commit this week to pray for that person. Thank God for them and pray for their needs and pray that they will grow in love. That's your basic homework. But if you want extra credit this week, let me suggest something else. Take time to write the person a letter or even a card telling why you are grateful to God for them. And don't forget to mail it. Just tell that person that you thank God for them and why you are grateful. Just tell that person that you thank God for them. Thank God for the people in your life that have been such an incredible blessing to you. They are instruments of His mercy and grace. When you recognize their blessing, we're doubly blessed.